Welcome back to Morning Joe. It's the top of the hour. Harold Ford Jr., Bill Kristol, and Katty Kay still with us and joining the conversation. NBC News political director and moderator of Meet the Press, Chuck Todd. A lot to talk about this morning. Oh, you want to do Jeb Trump first?
It's getting ugly, Chuck.
It's getting ugly.
I'm trying to figure out if this is a good idea for Jeb or not.
Well, I think that's
exactly.
I think if he was standing by and not responding to attacks, I get that everybody would be jumping on him going, how come you're not responding to the attacks? How come you're not being a more alpha male and all this? It just is, when you think about where Jeb Bush wanted his campaign 6 months ago, this was not the campaign he said he was going to run. Right. I'm not going to run this type of campaign. I'm going to run This is not a joyful campaign. This can't be joyful right now.
Not only that, the strategy of it. You're Jeb Bush. You're the front runner. You're supposed to be above it all. I always go back to 2004 as a classic example of how, yes, you can take somebody else down, but you take yourself down. Howard Dean ahead all the way to Iowa. Dick Gephardt knows he's got to take Howard Dean down. He does take Howard Dean down. He takes himself down as well, and he allows John Kerry to slip into first place and win Iowa and then go on to win the nomination. I mean, yeah, maybe Jeb can be the guy that takes down Donald Trump, but I don't think Jeb wants to be known as a guy that just takes down Donald Trump.
Well, I get the theory, right, which is Trump's got 100% name ID. Trump's sort of sitting at 25-30. That means 60. That means there is a large chunk of the party that's not for Trump.
Right.
I mean, it's not like he is an unknown figure.
Right.
So that's the theory of the case. The problem for Jeb is this is just not who he is. Well, it just doesn't feel it just doesn't feel like it's a comfortable place for him.
So Jeb needs to play the long game. The fact of the matter is, I do agree with Bill on this. I mean, we've been saying, Meek and I have been saying that Donald was going to be in the race. He was going to be relevant. He was going to do very well. But you never heard me say, I think Donald's going to get 50% plus one. He may. Donald surprised everybody. But if I'm Jeb Bush, I play the long game and say, I've got a lot better chance of getting 50 plus one than Donald Trump. I don't care what polls say in August. I just don't care. I've seen it a billion times, and so have you. August is crazy time. And then we go into the fall. Still a little crazy in Iowa, a little less crazy in New Hampshire. Swing south to South Carolina usually gets a little more conservative. And I always say, when those contests start going north, now they start going to the Midwest, then they go back to winner take all. It's guys like Jeb that win New York, Connecticut, and New Jersey all in one day, and the crazy gets sucked out of the race. I'm not saying it's Trump, but yeah, Trump and Carson are doing a lot better today than I think they will probably be doing a year from now.
Yeah, I mean, I've not been bullish on Jeb's prospects. I still think I thought he was overrated as a candidate from the beginning. But I would say I do admire the flip side of what you say. You're right. This isn't the campaign he wanted to run. The flip side is successful candidates often have to adjust to circumstances and do not run the campaign they wanted to run. They run the campaign they have to run. He is where he is, and I sort of admire him for being willing to pivot, do what he has to do now to try to get in a fight with Trump. But he needs to now go to a positive message. I mean, he needs to have an actual reform message.
Don't you think this is driven by donors?
Yes.
That's what this feels like.
100%. Why don't you fight back? Why don't you fight back?
That's what I feel like this is.
I don't think Jeb would fight back if the donors were on the phone with him every day going, why don't you say this about him? Why don't you say that about him?
Yeah,
I feel like this is donor driven.
I think Joe had it very well about a week ago where you talked about how he had to play to who he is. He's a dentist. He sounds like he looks like he's boring, but you remind people you can manage the country. And I think you can do a little of both. The contrast between Jeb Bush and Donald Trump, ultimately Jeb Bush wins that because I think people come home to wanting sanity, wanting reason, wanting someone that's not calling people dumb and stupid. They want someone who can lead. And if Jeb positions himself as that person, he runs a little risk. There's no doubt about it. But if he runs the kind of campaign Joe laid out a week and a half ago and continues his contrast, I think he finds himself in good shape.